Hello everyone, I'm NIINII'S and this is Blue Lines TV, and today I'm bringing you guys a pretty different predicted preview video. For this video I'm going to be talking about 3 ways in which Conte can approach the upcoming game against Barcelona. But before I start talking about the future of our fate, please smash that like button, help me get more than 500 likes for this video. In 2 days time, on the 20th of February at 7:45 GMT time, fate will be decided. Starting with any injury news and concerns, it seems like Bakayoko won't be fit enough for this game. It hasn't really been clarified in terms of what Bakayoko is actually out with. It looks like Luis won't be playing any part in this game as well. He seems to have another unspecified injury concern, but it looks like Marcos Alonso will be returning for the game against Barcelona. The referee for this game will be Junit Jakir, and he actually refereed the previous tie against Barcelona, that famous draw at the new camp all those years ago, and he was the one that sent off John Terry, so we do have history with this referee. But getting straight into the video, I'm going to be talking about the 3 approaches to this game that Conte could use for the Barcelona game, and that is the safe approach, the pragmatic approach, and the brave approach. And to end this video, I will be discussing my own thoughts on what lineup I would like us to use against Barcelona. But starting with the first approach. Starting with the safe approach, and for this lineup the approach would be a 3-5-2 formation to complement the safe approach, and the most likely lineup for this safe approach would be Eden Hazard behind Morata, Alonso, Cesc, Kante, Drinkwater and Moses, Cahill, Christensen and Aspie in defence, with Courtois in goal. But what would be the benefits of using this approach against Barcelona? Well, the tactic would be to keep things very compact and tight in the middle of the pitch, and to look for the link up of Eden Hazard and Morata for counter-attacks. Conte has used the same approach for numerous big games. We have had great drawing games such as Atletico Madrid, but against teams like Arsenal, recently where we did get knocked out of the Carabao Cup semi-final game, and against Man City, we have really struggled, but we have had some successes when it comes to using this type of system in certain games, and Atletico Madrid is a prime example. Now, the reason why we had so much success against Atletico was because we were able to push our wing-backs up and dominate the midfield. It really helped that Atletico Madrid don't really press high as much, and this is where we're able to really push the wing-backs further up. By pushing the wing-backs further up, it was key for our possession play. The channels that Hazard and Morata moved into created the spaces for third-man runs to be made from a Chelsea midfield player, and that's what Bakayoko was doing in particular. But Bakayoko is going to be out for this game, and if Drinkwater's playing, as we saw against the game against Arsenal, Drinkwater really doesn't have that type of pace to really make the most efficient use of the space being created for him. But the 3-5-2 really works when you do have a guy in midfield that can make use of the spaces created, because that gives Cesc Fabregas the maximum potential to be able to pick out the runs with his accurate passes. Yet, it's not very effective against high pressing teams. Now, Valverde is a very flexible manager tactically. He does look to adapt when it comes to the opposition. For sure, he will look to press high, meaning that they will close down our wing-backs out wide and harry our defence, similar to what we've seen Bournemouth do, and this is the start of the issue. In the top right corner there will be a link to the tactics video that I did do. It delves into everything, especially highlighting the problems we do face with our system, so I definitely suggest that you guys do watch that to get a good recap. But anyway, this forces us to have to play direct to Morata and Hazard when the wing-backs are pressed high. Hazard and Morata are kind of forced to pick up the ball centrally, and this can leave them outmanned as opposition defenders will look to really outman them by marking them. And I do see Busquets dropping deeper to help Piqué and Umtiti in dealing with Morata and Hazard. And you have to think, when these two are getting outmanned, when they have to control balls and they have no attacking support around them, this is why we were easily able to lose possession of the ball, and it really helps accentuate the point of us being closed down in our own half. The wing-backs aren't able to get forward in time to support them, thus attacking moves get broken down even more. Now, if we were to use a safe approach, I'm getting these nasty flashbacks of our game against Man City where, even though Man City didn't have to play to their maximum potential, they did easily and comfortably beat us, and we had no counter-attacking threat and we had no width at all. And I feel that with the spaces left in behind by Sergio Roberto in particular and Jordi Alba, it's essential that we do attack the spaces in behind. But moving on to the next approach that Conte could use for this game, and that's the brave approach. Now, what would this lineup look like? Well, the brave approach would be a 3-4-3 with Hazard, Morata and Willian up front, with Alonso, Kante, Fabregas and Moses in midfield, with a back three of Rudiger, Christensen and Azpilicueta with Courtois in goal. The approach for this game would be to give greater support to the attackers in hopes to build better counter-attacks and give better support for our attacking players. The front three would look to play close in between the lines, forcing Barca to have to pay greater attention at dealing with that threat. Hazard and Willian would have the ability to drop out wide when needed to play in the spaces in behind of Barcelona, especially down the flanks. This could make Cesc Fabregas' life much easier. He's the king at being able to beat a press and play accurate counter-attacking passes. Using the 3-4-3 could give more opportunities for Hazard and Willian to be able to create dribbling opportunities. These two players are elite at getting past an opponent. This could be beneficial as it's key that Hazard can run at Roberto, who isn't very good defensively when it comes to one-on-one tackling, and Jordi Alba isn't necessarily world class when it comes to one-on-one tackles himself. With Rudiger playing on the left hand side of the back three, his pace on the left could be very useful, especially in terms of helping out Marcos Alonso defensively. Rudiger can at times mistime a tackle or push up a bit too high instead of being in line with his other defensive partners, but with his passing ability as well as not folding under opposition pressure like Gary Cahill does, he could really help us transition out from the back much better as he's able to become a passing outlet. This is a brave approach as you're a man short in midfield, but at the same time we cannot play with minimal possession against Barcelona. Effective pressing at times higher up the pitch will be needed, especially flooding more men forward on the counter-attack. Getting a win in the first leg is crucial for us to get something positive in this tie and to help us really progress to the later rounds of the Champions League. And the beautiful thing is, if we do take a more brave approach in this game, during the last 20 minutes of a game, Conte can easily bring on Drinkwater and Giroud to help us play out from the counter and to flood the midfield. But ending on the last approach of this game, and that's the wildcard approach. Now, the lineup for this wildcard approach would look like this. It would be a 3-5-1-1. It would be Morata up front with Hazard just behind him, a midfield three of Kante, Fabregas and Willian in midfield, with Alonso, Moses as wing-backs with Rudiger, Christensen and Aspi in defence with Courtois in goal. Now originally, this would have been a three-man midfield with David Luiz as a midfield option, as something tells you he could play a part in this game. No way do you want to make it easier for your opposition manager, so of course it makes sense for Conte to not really let the press know when players are going to be back and fit and available. But I didn't want to depend on Luiz's fitness when it came to making this video, so Willian is my choice for the three-man midfield. Now why have I gone for Willian to be the wildcard option? The beauty of Willian is that he could help us transition seamlessly from a 3-5-2 to a 3-4-3. I say this time and time again, Willian is much more effective down the left hand side and in the middle of the pitch. His ability to drive forwards, cover distances quickly and make up a lot of ground pretty quickly is very vital. If we were to see Conte picking Willian for the midfield three, that would tell us that Conte isn't relying on keeping our shape and passively defending with deep defensive low blocks. Now, I was speaking earlier of how teams that like to press high have a lot of joy against us, and Barcelona will definitely be looking to press high and try to limit the threat of our wingbacks. So it's going to be extremely vital that we beat Barcelona's first phase of pressing, and Willian could be very key and useful in terms of helping us transition from defence into attack. With his runs from deep, his ability to carry the ball from distances, this could give more hope for Morata and Hazard to attack down the channels to be on the receiving end of counter-attacks, and by doing that, Hazard and Morata won't necessarily have to be in the middle of the pitch playing close to each other to receive the ball. Barcelona are susceptible to the counter-attack, so beating the first phase of pressing could help us counter-attack much more efficiently, especially as Hazard and Morata could make runs in behinds, which could in turn then stretch Barcelona, as Piqué and Busquets aren't necessarily the fastest duo. Willian has been in great form too recently. He is a confidence player. This would be the most effective way at using him, as Hazard and Morata definitely need that attacking support around them, and in turn that's going to help our wingbacks have more attacking support in the wide areas. Now, to end this video, moving on to my approach for this game. Now, my approach for this game is very similar to the wildcard approach. I have gone for a 3-5-2 with Willian as the third man in midfield, so he can help us transition from a 3-5-2 to a 3-4-3. Conte has stated himself the perfect game is needed to beat Barcelona, but to get the perfect game, the perfect approach will be needed to help the team out as well. It's imperative that we can create counter-attacks, and it's imperative that we do beat Barcelona's first phase of pressing. To do this, attacking support up front will be needed, with helping to relieve pressure and helping to become passing outlets as well. Since Conte has arrived, too often have we sacrificed the first leg of important games like this to our own detriment. The lack of attacking support has not really helped the wing-backs out, and because the wing-backs can't really get into the game, that's what's really cost us. Still, there is some hope that Conte himself will be looking to adapt how he approaches these types of games. Conte himself has stated that he has been dissecting the defensive weakness that he believes Barcelona have, and in my opinion, I think that weakness is going to be out wide in the spaces behind Sergi Roberto in particular and Jordi Alba. With Sergi Roberto, he plays much more as a wide midfielder than a fullback, as when he does push forward, he does look to move into midfield, so the spaces left in behind by him will be crucial, as Sergi Roberto doesn't really have that defensive ability and he doesn't have that recovery pace. And I'm hoping that area is going to be on the left hand side where Eden Hazard can collect the ball, face the goal and run at people. In tandem with Cesc Fabregas playing those counter-attacking passes, Willian's ability to carry the ball from deep with him, that means that Hazard should be freer to collect the ball in much more threatening areas to be able to run at Barcelona, especially as Barcelona are pretty slow at recovering into their defensive positions on the counter-attack. So for me, this is my most favourable approach for this game, and I'm fairly confident that Conte is looking to do something similar. Now, just to end this video, of course, how the players perform will be key to winning this game. It will be up to them playing the right passes, finishing opportunities, getting back into position quickly and working hard. That will be the key to our success, but the right tactical system by Conte will make the team's lives even easier. Anyway, you guys, I really hope you liked this video. Please like, comment and subscribe. If you're new, make sure you definitely subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification sign as well to stay tuned to all things Blue Lines TV. And please smash that like button, help me get 500 likes with this video. But anyway, you guys, I'm NIINII'S. This is Blue Lines TV. Come on, Chelsea.